Today, the second day of the James Holmes, Colorado theater shooting trial. We heard from victims as well as a firefighter who described the scene as he helped those victims out.
His attorneys say he seems emotionless and aloof because of antipsychotic medications that were prescribed to him after he killed 12 people and injured 70 more in the packed movie theater on July the 20th, 2012. In Connecticut, we learned this evening that there are underlying themes to most shooters, but that mental illness alone is not to blame. News 8's Bob Wilson is live in Hartford with this. Bob?
You know, he's looking at everything. He's got a close-up look at Adam Lanza's life, and he's kind of telling people. He had a speech tonight. He got in front of about 100-plus people, and they were teachers. They were people with big businesses who have employees they're concerned about because they want to know, is there an identifier that can tip people off? Dr. Harold Schwartz is looking inside the mind of Adam Lanza to see if it could provide answers as to why people pull the trigger in mass shootings. From Columbine High School to the movie theater in Aurora to Sandy Hook, he says there is no one set formula.
It's not the mental illness. It's something else that has to explain how and why somebody can shoot. And I think that is a failure in social connectedness.
But after heading the governor's mental health commission and looking into Lanza's life, he says the shooters isolate themselves and have a disconnect from other humans. Video games and phones are a way that they can do it. He says recent research shows that kids spend an average of 7.5 hours in front of electronics.
That's 7.5 hours they're not spending in face-to-face contact with other people, the kind of contact that's just critical to social connectedness. It's the glue of the community, and it's being dissipated in this kind of isolation.
Now, while there may not be any clear-cut answers as to why this happens, a lot of people tonight wanted to ask questions, and there was an interactive session where people in the audience could ask, talk, learn from each other. Some of these people have jobs where they're inside the school systems and they're concerned about it.
My job involves high school kids and high school kids who are struggling to be successful, struggling with emotional issues, kids who have been traumatized in some ways.
I was an English teacher, and there were occasions when I saw stories or journal entries that worried me.
Journal entries are some of the things that Adam Lanza did early on in his life. Dr. Schwartz says that Lanza wrote a book called The Big Book of Granny, and inside of it, just gross stuff, including everything from cannibalism to, you can't even get into it on television, but he said that should have been a tip-off early on, and he says if it doesn't feel right, you should at least talk to it. As the English teacher there says, she would turn it over to the school psychologist. I'm Bob Wilson, reporting live in Hartford, News 8.